Hey, welcome to the Board Game Closet. My name's Jimmy, and today I want to talk about Raiders of Scythia. Now, this is a follow-up game to one of my favorite games, which is Raiders of the North Sea. So when I heard that they were coming out with a new version of this game with a different brand or a different style, a different theme, I was kind of worried, if I'm totally honest, because I love Raiders of the North Sea, and there's not much that I would change about that game. So when they said that they were coming out with kind of like a 1.5 version of Raiders of the North Sea, I was very intrigued to find out what they did. Now, I have not extensively played this game, so let that be a disclaimer to you. In fact, I just got done playing my first game of Raiders of Scythia solo. Haven't played this competitively with other people yet. I haven't dove into all the deep depths of it, but after playing this game, and because Raiders is such a family favorite for us, I wanted to do this video so that you could know whether or not you need to add this if you got this. Now, I do want to say that there are some really cool new things that they've done in this game. I feel like they completely streamlined it, and if you're familiar with Raiders and maybe Hall of Heroes and Fields of Fame, then I feel like what they did is they took all of those expansions and kind of twisted them into this base game. So what's different? Number one, they took out the Valkyrie, so you're not going to kill these Vikings and send them off Valhalla. They've gotten rid of Valhalla, and now there's none of that. So when people die, they just die in this one. And then secondly, they got rid of armor. There's no armor track that can kind of beef you up. Instead, what they did was they introduced these multi-use cards that have horses and eagles. This is super duper cool and really falls into line if you followed any of like Paladins of the West, all of that, where they have these multi-use cards that actually slide underneath your board, and now they modify what you already have. I totally love that. I absolutely love how they did that. And so they have these eagles that can do one of two things. They will either double the ability at the bottom of your player card. So if you're familiar with Raiders, then you know at the bottom of every card there's two abilities. There's one that you get when they're hired, and then there's one that you would get if you went to the town center. And these cards do one of two things. They're either going to double the ability that you have when they are hired, or they give you this new ability at the town center that uses this left side of or right side of the card. I love that because in Raiders, you had to make this terrible decision of, oh, I love this ability that this person has, but I'm going to get rid of this card forever. Or with many new players, when you say, hey, I've hired this person, shouldn't I be able to do both of the things on the card? Now you can, because if you go to the town center, now you can trigger that ability on that right side if you have one of those eagles above that card. Super cool. And now the horses are where they took armor and they put them there. So now the horses will give you armor strength, and that's super cool because now you can slot a horse underneath each one of your characters. And what's interesting about the game is when a character dies, those eagles and horses have to stay in that slot. So now that cool ability of the eagle on top or that great 3 horse that you had underneath isn't any good anymore until you hire another crew member. That's really cool. Now in Fields of Fame, they introduced these wounds into the game. And so in that one, if you went to go fight a Jarl, then what would happen is you got wounds on your character. Well, now what they've done is they baked the wounds into the dice that you roll in the game. So in the base game, there were a lot of locations that you could go to that would give you, you'd roll the dice and that would help you kind of defeat it, or they had these skulls on it that would kill off somebody to go to the Valkyrie or Valhalla. Remember, that's gone. So now they just have these wound dice that you're going to be rolling, and then these are bleed dice, whatever they're called, but they give you wounds on your character. And I really like that because in Fields of Fame, I didn't always want to go fight the Jarls, so now the wounds are kind of baked into these dice, and now these go onto your characters. And it actually makes going and fighting a little less automatic. In the base game, if you went somewhere, you have your armor built up, you have your stuff built up. All right, I'll go up there. I might lose a guy, maybe two, but I'm just going to run up there and go kill them, and it'll be easy. Well, in this one, sure, you can be guaranteed the victory points from winning a location, but you could lose everybody. And that happened to me one round where I went to a location, I got my victory points, but then picked them all up. They all went away, and that was brutal. So then I started to go back and build up on characters that would take less wounds, and I comboed that with the eagle that doubled. So I have this guy that says take 2 less wounds when you go to Greece, and then the double thing on him, so now it's 4 less wounds when I go to Greece, if I'm playing that right. I think I am, but I thought that was super duper cool. What did I not like about it? I do not like the way that they flipped the board. In original Raiders, all of the main actions were down here, and you could go to them very easily. And then every once in a while, when you go on a quest, you go up to the top of the board. Well, they flipped that now, where the things that are closest to me as the player on this side, looking at the board where you'll be able to read everything, most people would want to sit over here. All of the locations that you might not go to that much are easily reached, and now I have to reach across the board, which, okay, maybe I'm complaining, but I just got to keep doing this. And I'm thinking about how we do live streams, and now I'm going to think about the whole time we're going to be, anyways, it's super silly, I guess, but I just wish that this would have been down here. And then my second complaint is the board is incredibly busy. It's just very, very, very busy. And, so it's a little bit hard to read what's going on in these locations and some of the icons. I don't know, but that's it. And that's coming from somebody that absolutely loves Raiders. And so you're kind of messing with something that I absolutely love. So, I'm a little jarred in that kind of aspect. But something else that they did in this one, and I'm sorry if this video is going long, I'm kind of rambling. But in Hall of Heroes, they introduced quests. And quests were something that would go under a location, and now this is something that you get to do beyond it. And I absolutely loved quests because it made the game feel like it wasn't just over once somebody raided a location. There was something else to do. They bring that back, but they simplified it. In the base game, you also had offerings that you could give to the chieftain. Well, now that's kind of baked into these cards. They have both offerings that you could make, and they have the same kind of thing that you did on quests before, where you would discard cards with their strength ability, and then you get that token. So they took both of that, combined it into one, and that's super duper cool. What else did they do that was new in this? You have a original player. I forget what it's called, a hero maybe. And so at the beginning of the game, you take the heroes, you put them all out, and then you pair them with a random villager, and you have to choose a pair, and then that's what you begin. And then each one of these has a different ability on them. I like that. They still have mead in this one. It's called Kumi or Kumis or however you say that. So in Hall of Heroes, they also had they had mead in that one that would increase your strength when you go into battle. And so they brought this one back. There's a location on the board now, the meeting tent. You can get that. And then at the stables, which is the new location, that's how you get the horses and the eagles. Anyways, I'm just rambling and I'm not making very much sense. But if you're familiar with the base game, maybe some of this is good for you. So totally love it. I love the art style on this one. I think it's super duper cool. I love D'Amico and I love his style in Raiders of the North Sea. But for this brand new game, I'm super excited that they used a new artist and it's a different way, and it's very exciting to see that. And what makes me really excited about this game is I hope, in typical Garfield Games fashion, that they're going to have expansions that will come out. And so if they do, I'm just very excited to see what else they might do with this game. And if they don't, I'm okay with that, because I feel like this might be the perfect weight for this game. I feel like it's got everything that I want it to have, and it's not getting kind of ridiculous with all of the, and you can do this and this and this and this and this on a turn, but it's just, I know, it was very cool. And so I'm a little fanboy right now about it. And again, I've only played it one time solo, but I got it in the mail and I just had to play it. And I really like it, and I love the changes that they made. And if you made it this far in the video, then thanks for watching. And make sure you subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, all that kind of stuff. Share this around if you have friends that might be interested in what the changes are in this game. So, all right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Board Game Closet.